You are a prisoner to your addictions. Fix this now. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how certain things seem to take over your mind without you even realizing it? Like invisible strings pulling you away from what truly matters? It could be social media addiction, overeating, pornography, gaming, alcohol, or even the relentless pursuit of validation from others. Modern dependencies. That craving for quick dopamine hits that keeps you endlessly scrolling. Sophisticated traps that hijack your focus and drain your strength. And here lies the danger. A man who doesn't recognize his addictions is at their mercy, like a slave who doesn't even know he's chained. And don't be fooled, because these vices don't appear as obvious monsters. They come disguised as comfort, as distraction, as "I deserve this." But deep down, they're just crutches. Stoicism teaches us that true power lies in controlling what we can. Our thoughts, our actions, our responses to the world. But how can we control something we don't even see? Today, we're tearing down that curtain and exposing the truth. We'll talk about how to recognize the invisible chains that hold you back, and more importantly, how to start breaking them. Stay with me, because what comes next might just change your life. Imagine a man trapped in a cell. But this cell has no visible bars. He walks freely, goes about his daily activities, laughs with friends, and works. Yet something is strange. Whenever he tries to step out of his routine and reach for something greater, something pulls him back, as if an invisible chain were tied to his feet. That chain consists of the small dependencies he doesn't even realize he has. It could be his morning coffee, which started as a simple habit, but has now become an absolute necessity for him to feel functional. It could be his phone, which he compulsively grabs, even without reason, just because silence unsettles him. It could be that beer after work, which has become his only way to relax. And here lies the problem. A man who doesn't see his chains cannot break them. This is what I need you to understand right now. The things that seem harmless, sugar, Netflix, social media validation, can, little by little, steal your autonomy. They drain your mental clarity, your self-discipline, your ability to make decisions with full awareness. You think you're in control, but are you really? As it's been said before, addiction is when we lose the freedom to abstain. Now let me tell you a story. Years ago, I believed I had total control over my life. I saw myself as strong, independent, the master of my own decisions. But then, something happened. I was undertaking a personal challenge of extreme discipline. For 30 days, I decided to cut out everything non-essential. No social media, no coffee, no sweets, no TV shows, only the necessities: work, exercise, reading, and silence. The first few days felt easy. I laughed at the idea that those small things could control me. This is simple, I thought. Then, the discomfort arrived. One morning, I woke up with an uncontrollable craving for coffee. My head pounded. My body felt sluggish. It was as if I needed that cup to function. Then came the phone. Instinctively, my hand reached into my pocket. I grabbed my phone without thinking. Every few minutes, my mind screamed, "What if someone sent an important message?" That's when I realized something terrifying. I wasn't in control. For years, I thought I was free. But in reality, I was a slave to these small things. The difference was that my chains weren't made of iron. They were made of unconscious routines. And once you see this, you can't unsee it. It was a shock, but it was also the first step toward liberation. Now ask yourself honestly, what are your invisible chains? Maybe you say, "Oh, I just drink coffee because I like it, not because I need it." All right, then try going a week without it and see what happens. Or maybe you say, "I only use my phone for work." Fine. Then try turning it off for an entire day and see if your mind can handle the silence without becoming restless. And if you occasionally visit adult sites, know this. Pornography is one of the most insidious invisible chains because it hijacks the brain with artificial dopamine hits, conditioning it to seek effortless pleasure. It destroys a man's ability to connect genuinely, weakens his vital energy, and distorts his perception of desire, intimacy, and discipline. A man who regularly consumes pornography loses willpower, motivation, and often self-respect. He thinks he's in control, but in reality, He's trapped in a cycle that erodes his masculinity and mental clarity. If you believe it's not a problem, try quitting for a month and observe how your body and mind react. If you feel resistance, there's an addiction. One that drains your energy is an enemy of your greatness. The truth is, we all have addictions. Some are socially acceptable, others are not. But in the end, they all steal the same thing: our freedom of choice. And Stoicism teaches us that a man's true strength lies in controlling what can be controlled. If you can't say no to something, then you don't own it, it owns you. The good news? You can break the chains. This doesn't mean you have to become a monk, isolate yourself from the world, and live an ascetic life. No, it simply means you must reclaim your inner sovereignty. Here's a practical path to do that. First, identify your dependencies. Take a piece of paper and write down: what are the habits you feel you can't live without? What do you do automatically without even noticing? Second, take an abstinence test. Pick one of them and go 7 days without it. Observe your reaction. If you feel irritation, anxiety, frustration, congratulations, you've found a chain. Third, regain control, not through prohibition, but through choice. The goal isn't to never drink coffee again or never watch a video. The goal is to have the ability to choose when and how, not because you need to, but because you decide to. Finally, constantly challenge yourself. A truly strong man doesn't run from discomfort. He seeks it. So, from time to time, challenge yourself to let go of something. Digital fasting, food fasting, periods of total silence, these strengthen your mind. Seneca said, "Depriving yourself of something by choice from time to time strengthens the mind and prepares it for difficult times." This is training. Training for your soul. Training for your freedom. Today, I'm sending you a call. A call to recognize your chains, to take control of your own mind, to fight this silent battle that separates the weak from the strong. Listen to this other quote from Seneca. "We must give up many things to which we are addicted, considering them to be good. Otherwise, courage will vanish, which should continually test itself. Greatness of soul will be lost, which can't stand out unless it disdains as petty what the mob regards as most desirable." Seneca, Moral Letters, 74, 12b, 13. True strength isn't about what you add to your life. It's about what you have the courage to let go of. The crowd will tell you it's fine to indulge in comfort, in easy pleasure, in constant distractions. But the crowd is weak. The crowd is enslaved by its own impulses. You don't want to be like them. If you seek greatness, if you want to be a man who commands respect, who masters his own mind, then you must confront your dependencies head-on. You must have the courage to say no to what weakens your spirit, even when the whole world is saying yes. And this isn't just about quitting bad habits. It's about strengthening your soul. Every time you overcome a useless craving, every time you resist the pull of what keeps you weak, you are refining your essence. You are proving to yourself that you command your body and mind, not the other way around. So today, I challenge you to choose. Choose what the common man won't. Choose clarity over confusion. Choose control over addiction. Choose to be free. Because at the end of the day, what separates the weak from the strong is the ability to let go of what they don't need, so they can become who they were born to be.